Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 1. Here in the lower left hand corner of our screen, it is the NAU Lumberjack, the Protoss player in the gold, ColdFlame.
And in the upper right hand corner of our map, Daybreak, he's the 150-pound mountain lion in the room from the University of Colorado Springs, Colorado, Toomaja. Or Toomaja.
Toomaja.
Interesting name. Either way.
Definitely. So we're looking at a Protoss versus a ZerG in this CSL matchup. With me today, as you can see in the lower left-hand corner, it is DoomSC2. Doom, go ahead and give yourself a shout-out, please, sir.
Shout out, OrD. What is going on, man? Thank you for bringing me on this cast. I'm excited to see ColdFlame once again. I know he is a boss Protoss player, and he's building a pylon in his base right now. So very curious to see where he goes from here after he drops this gateway. And PvZ on Daybreak, you know, it's got a pretty mapped out strategy going for that third base. But, you know, I'm always curious to see what our players are able to throw at each other and the different games that can occur within the game, OrD.
And now's a good time to mention that Doom does have his own YouTube channel, but better than that, he's got a website called SC2 Links. So make sure that you guys go over there, check that out. He uploads all kinds of VODs and makes sure that there's an organized, easy to view environment.
Yes, the easiest and simplest.
And that will be down below in the video description if you guys are interested. Right now we have Drone from Toomaja entering the base of ColdFlame, who interestingly enough is leaving a big old gap up in his main, and he's not doing a Forge Fast Expand.
Yeah, there's a very large possibility that he'll be throwing down a couple more gateways in addition to this. If he decides to send this first Zealot across the map, we can see that potentially do some damage down at the hatch or catch some Zerglings out in the middle of the map. It does look like the first Queen is on the way for Toomaja. The hatch at his natural is only halfway done at this point. Did opt to go for a quicker spawning pool. So he's not getting Lings just quite yet, still adding on drones, and we'll have to see when he actually does decide to make Lings. It may be when this Nexus is dropped down, because ColdFlame's made himself quite vulnerable by going for a build like this, OrD.
I definitely agree, and Toomaja's continuing to block off at the same time. It's almost as if he's inviting some kind of early aggression or foregate. He's definitely worked hard to make sure that ColdFlame doesn't find it easy to expand.
He's certainly keeping the ZerG player in the dark right now. If we go to the ZerG player's vision, he's only seen the ramp, so he's not sure what else could possibly be here. The Overlord is now going to swoop in and see the expansion, so that is going to tip him off to what ColdFlame's build currently is, and his response to this is just to make more Queens and another hatchery, going for that third base. All right, so we will see it map out to the third base, at least for the ZerG player, but going for Ling speed at this point can mass a lot of Lings, run them in if ColdFlame doesn't get a proper wall off at the front. But then again, I know ColdFlame is definitely thinking of this in the back of his mind, so we'll see how he responds as well. He doesn't actually have that much vision of what the ZerG's done right now, but is sending out a couple of scouts.
Our Boomer representative, I can't help but root for him a little bit because he's wearing the most beautiful color known to man, that orange. Oh yeah, he is. But ColdFlame moving out with that Zealot Stalker, going to do a little bit of a scouting poke. First controlling the Xel'Naga. I like that a lot. And then he's going to push forward to discover that there are just a couple of Queens and there's really nothing else. Opening that Units tab, we see right now that ColdFlame has managed to stay ahead of his ZerG counterpoint. 28 probes to the 23 drones of Toomaja.
He definitely has, but this third base is currently under assault by a Zealot and a Stalker. The Queens are too slow to get down here, and I don't know if he's going to be able to force a cancel, but he's definitely done enough damage on this hatchery to make it a very vulnerable point in this game, and the Zealot's going to keep attacking away. Does have to be very careful. These Queens can do a decent amount of damage here.
Yeah, but they're so slow off of creep. He can definitely pull away without having to worry about it at the moment he receives just a little bit of damage from them. And he's actually going to micro away from them to continue to harass. I like this actually a lot. He's going to lower the hatchery down below half life. And is he going to target down one of the queens? Quite possibly. Right. He retreats. ColdFlame with a nice little bit of harass, and I also like that Toomaja did not overreact at all. Just kind of walked his queens down and continued to produce drones. And they get transferred.
It does look like ColdFlame is setting up to take a third base down here. Or, I don't know, maybe that's just a reinforcement pylon. Either way, yeah, that's definitely actually going to be a reinforcement pylon. Looking back at his base, he's got 3 gates down right now. 4th one on the way. But the Roach Warren is about to go underway here for Toomaja.
Yeah, and that Protoss level 1 ground weapons is only about 30 seconds away from completing, as this is definitely an aggressively placed pylon by ColdFlame, who's at 58 supply to the 47 of Toomaja. Opening the units tab again, we see that there are 6 Zerglings and 3 Queens to go up against 5 Zealots, 2 Stalkers, and a Sentry. I don't know where that Sentry is, though. He's hiding back home, I guess. Now the warp in, this is definitely going to become at least a little bit of aggression. I don't think ColdFlame wants to allow Toomaja to establish this third base comfortably. He did enough damage earlier, like Doom was saying. He gets a surround on the queen, it dies almost instantly. Toomaja pulls the drones, and
this is a dangerous attack, OrD.
Down goes that hatchery. I like, though, that Toomaja did not try to protect it. He realized that it was too much for him right now. He's got roaches on the way, and that's going to help protect him.
It's going to help, but how much can it actually do? This is a very fearsome army here. The +1 attack is done, and, I mean, he's got Glio Reconstruction on the way, but it's not going to finish nearly in time.
Well, 4 more roaches are on their way. The queens are getting involved. Roaches are being nicely microed back, and drones can surround Stalkers for a decent amount of damage, but those are so many Zealots with a +1 attack.
Yeah, he could have tried to drill there, but the Zealots would have completely smashed all the drones in an instant. It would have been devastating, but regardless, it looks like the Zealots live on, and everything ZerG is dying, OrD.
Definitely, everything indeed. And the roaches on the high ground are trying desperately to do some kind of counter, but there's so many Stalkers. There's another forward pylon, really aggressively placed by ColdFlame, and now all the drones of the expansion are dead. There's a third base established by ColdFlame, or starting to be established anyway, who's at 89 supply, and GG.
The mountain lion has been slain.
Congrats to ColdFlame, Northern Arizona University's Lumberjacks. Click on this annotation to go to game number 2. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, with me was
at DoomSC2.
Click here, blah, to go to his YouTube channel. Thanks again.